thinner and lighter design, a larger display, faster charging, sleep apnea detection, and no AirPods needed audio streaming are some of the Apple Watch Series 10's new features. I'm gonna make it real easy today for you to decide whether or not it's worth upgrading depending on what you're coming from. First of all, I made this great chart for you. It's a cheat sheet. You can pause here if you want to get some instant clarity. We're gonna refer back to it throughout the video. But before we get any further, I do want to let you know Pro iPhone Video Essentials, my new course, is available for pre-order, and if you pre-order today, you'll get 2 courses for free. My hit productivity course, Learning to be Productive, along with Freeform Unleashed. So let's start by talking about this thinner design. Apple says the Series 10 is 10% thinner than the Series 9, and if you're curious, it does weigh 10% less. So the question for current Apple Watch users is, do you find your current Apple Watch to be bulky or uncomfortable? If you do, then this new design could improve your overall comfort, especially during long wear times, i.e. like when you're sleep tracking and you don't want all that extra bulk. Well, what about the bigger display? The Series 10 has a 30% larger screen area than the Series 9. So the question is, have you ever thought to yourself, your current Apple Watch screen is too small when either reading text or interacting with apps? The larger screen means bigger tap targets and easier to read text, which will make it more useful if you need clearer visuals or when you're interacting with apps regularly. Think like when you're trying to swipe around on some text or poke around on the calculator. The Series 10 has some new water sensors that can measure depth up to 6 meters and track water temperature. So, how often do you find yourself swimming, snorkeling, or surfing, for instance? This is a feature that's great if you're a diver or snorkeler, you need real-time water depth and temperature info. However, if you're just swimming around in the pool, it may not add that much practical value. There certainly is one tech spec that could though, and that is the faster charging, 0 to 80% in 30 minutes. In practical terms, that means 15 minutes faster than the Series 9. Now this actually could be something that moves the needle, so ask yourself if you ever find yourself frustrated by charging times, especially on busy days. But let's be real about it, if you usually just charge overnight, this isn't gonna be a big deal for you. Activity rings are a staple feature. We've had them for about 10 years now on the Apple Watch, and the Series 10 now allows you to further customize your activity rings. If you don't know what that means, I'll break it down in a second, but ask yourself, have you found yourself wanting to customize those rings? I'm guessing you probably haven't thought much about it. However, what it means is that you can set personalized goals to better match your fitness level or your daily routine. So instead of just a standard 30-minute exercise ring, you can customize it to better fit your goals. Something interesting is that the Series 10 is up to 40% brighter when viewed at an angle. So think about how you use your Apple Watch. Oftentimes you do raise your wrist and look directly at the screen, but I know for me, other times I'll sort of give it a side eye or glance at it. And in those instances, a little bit brighter screen could be nice. Probably not the kind of thing that you spend your time thinking about, but if you often check your watch in bright environments or at angles, this might make an interesting difference. Everybody's talking about the new jet black finish, which the Series 10 introduces, or reintroduces, I should say. It used to be on the iPhone. I guess the only question to ask yourself here is, do you subjectively prefer this? It might be kind of nice to have something a little different than what you've seen floating around on other wrists. This is purely aesthetic though, so if you're looking for style upgrades, you might find this appealing. Otherwise, functionally, it's no different. But the Series 10 does come in a new titanium offering, which is 20% lighter than the stainless steel. The titanium is more durable than the stainless steel, but it does come at a higher price. Ask yourself how much it matters to you to have a premium lightweight finish. So if you want the durability without the added weight and you're not willing to stick an Ultra on your wrist, then that's really something to consider. You can also check out the Wallpaper store with hundreds of different wallpapers for you, or you can get the Mega Pack for just $5 using the coupon down in the description. And then there's the extra health sensors. Sleep apnea detection is new for the Series 10. So obviously, if you're not gonna wear this while you're sleeping, it doesn't matter. But if you're gonna be tracking your sleep anyways, and you're worried about potential breathing issues at night, then monitoring your sleep and breathing disturbances could be a feature that you find valuable. Now this comes in both GPS and GPS plus cellular options, of course. Some people like to leave their phone behind. They feel a little more productive with more of an essential digital experience. Do you need or want to have your phone with you at all times? Cellular is useful if you want to leave that phone behind but still have full connectivity. But if you always have your phone with you, then the GPS only will definitely suffice. But then we can go over the precision finding, which is enhanced with the ultra wideband chip on the Series 10. The question you want to ask here is, how often do you misplace your items? Actually, for me, I misplace my iPhone more and use the Apple Watch to locate it than I do in reverse. but maybe that'll be different for you. If that's not something you struggle with, that probably won't be a deciding factor though. But what might be is the fact that you can now stream music or podcasts or audiobooks directly through your watch's speakers. In the past, if you were in a pinch, you could take a phone call on your wrist, no problem. But if you want to listen to media, that required using some AirPods. So the question for you is, would you actually like to listen to media without needing to bring your AirPods along? Maybe this is an everyday carry sort of an issue for you. There's some new watch faces, again, subjective whether you like those or not, but there's a Smart Stack feature that can integrate those new watch faces instead of using just a generic digital or analog dial, which is kind of nice, something to think about. If you like to customize your watch's appearance and functionality, that might be a useful upgrade, but if you don't use many apps or widgets, the older system's gonna be just fine. So to recap, on the thickness, the Series 10 is noticeably thinner than the previous models. That could improve comfort. In the weight department, the Series 10's titanium model is much lighter than the earlier stainless steel versions, which might be more comfortable. For the display size, the Series 10 has a larger display than older models, offering easier navigation and readability, and it's technically larger than the Ultra 2 despite the Ultra's physical size. Brightness, the Series 10 matches the Series 9 brightness, it doubles the SE's, and it's better in outdoor bright conditions. When it comes to water resistance, the Series 10 remains water resistant up to 50 meters, so it's very similar to the previous models. It's not as rugged as the Ultra 2 though. When it comes to ECG, blood oxygen, and the temperature sensors, those are all on everything but the SE, though the Series 10 and Ultra 2 have the latest updates. Quick caveat though, pause the screen and really absorb this tweet here because there's some patent disputes happening right now, and you may not want to upgrade if you rely on that blood oxygen sensor and already have a watch that had that baked in. For the sleep apnea detection, only the Series 10 and the Ultra 2 offer this feature. So when it comes to the charging time, we're talking about up to 15 minutes faster to 80% than the Series 9. The processor does have the new S10. That's different than older models. You're just gonna get faster performance. And I will say, depending on the year, I can notice the difference in performance just moving around between apps and notifications, interacting with the watch sometimes. I haven't tested them yet, they're coming, so get subscribed if you want my actual hands-on experience, but it can make a difference. Only the Series 10 and the Ultra 2 can stream audio directly without AirPods. Again, precision finding with that ultra wideband chip in the Series 10 and Ultra 2 does make it better for lost devices. And that just about wraps up what I hope is the ultimate simplified buying guide if you're thinking about upgrading to this year's Series 10. Don't forget to check out the courses. I'm really excited about it, and you're never gonna find a better deal than getting basically 3 courses for the price of 1. It's linked up down below. Check out the wallpapers, great deal there as well. Hundreds of different files if you get the mega pack, which is usually $54 for only about $5. That's linked up down below too. And I'll catch you in the next video. Later.